Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the brand new Pure Fiction did just release today, and of course Evernight is one of our newest characters, so why not run her in the brand new Pure Fiction? We're going to use two of the brand newest teams. Well, actually technically the second one isn't very brand new. For the first half, we will just be going for a DOT team alongside Black Swan, Kafka, as well as Aventurine as our sustainer, and then on the first half we will be going for an Evernight sub DPS team. We did run Evernight as a main DPS in Memory of Chaos. Her sub DPS team is definitely the better option for now, considering the fact that I don't feel like we have her complete team yet. When it comes to the buffs, we're just going to be taking the DOT one for the first half, obviously, and then for the second one, we're just going to take the team-wide damage increase, just because all of these units are pretty decent damage dealers, especially in AoE. So, yeah, with that being said, let's just hop right into it. Well then, here we are on the first half with our DOT team. We do have our Hysilens, our Kafka, our Black Swan as well. Most important being Hysilens in the first half, just because we do have Lushaka on our Kafka. Starting off the battle, we should fare decently well here, I would hope. I mean, the DOT team is just very strong right now, especially the premium DOT team. This is a Pure Fiction, but you know, they're not as favored as in other ones. For example, there's no wind weakness, so we are dealing a bit less Black Swan damage because there is a bit of wind resistances on the bosses. Also, you know, it's not a Pure Fiction predicated around DOT, but that's kind of a good test. You know, if the Pure Fiction isn't centered around DOT, then we can get more reliable results. The goal would be 30k, but the minimum would be 25k, in my opinion, for a decent run. You know, if you get 25k on a non-Pure Fiction team, such as Premium DOT, and then like 35k on a more dedicated Pure Fiction team, whether that be Jade, the Herta, Castorice as well, like we're running, because although, I mean, Castorice is just a very universal one, but you know, definitely gets the job done. I think Phynon is more of that kind of aiming for 25k DPS, whereas I feel like Premium DOT is in between the 25 to 30k DPS range, or score range rather, not DPS range. But anyway, let's just go ahead and pop a Kafka ultimate here. This should either end everything. Okay, never mind, it doesn't kill, but we're very close. We shouldn't even need to take a turn. These guys should just die from passive dot damage or Kafka detonations as well. That does work. We do also enter the grid state, which is very nice for us as well. Go ahead and use our Aventurine ultimate as well here. Like I said, no wind weakness, which is unfortunate. No imaginary as well, so we won't be dealing any extra progress to the toughness bar. But with Kafka's follow-up attacks, ult, and as well as her skills, we should get through this weakness bar decently quickly. You know, obviously can't run a Royal May in here, although to be fair, Royal May actually isn't that big of a downgrade from Black Swan, at least in my testing in the past, but obviously you still would prefer the triple dot, at least from what I am aware of and from my personal experiences. I think we've entered into the next, I mean, I know we've entered into the next cycle already. Just need to see how much AV we have. Okay, yeah, so we are freshly into this brand new cycle. Hopefully we can take the boss down in this cycle. That would be on track for a very good clear. If not, it's not the end of the world either. 66% left. We do still have at least one, never mind, we have most of our characters' turns still to go. They are entering the lurking state, although our dots can still damage them, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, that doesn't really, yeah, they can. Okay, so literally doesn't matter against this team, doesn't matter against anything which is not single target. Okay, and we will be able to break here on our Hysilens, and then we get to use our ultimate, which is always a nice big nuke. Let's see, how much do we deal here? A nice 1.6 million, I believe that is. We do get to go for a Kafka detonation as well. And then ult as well. Okay, unfortunately we should be able to clear during the first half of the next cycle. Unfortunately, that extra damage there dealt by, it's not the memory turbulence, I forgot what it is, but the extra damage there didn't do all that much, considering the fact that there were 5 enemies on field. You usually prefer to just launch into the boss, but oh well. Although I do kind of wish that was a change they would make, that they would make those things only deal damage to the boss enemies, because you shouldn't really be struggling on the summons. That's kind of your DPS's job, but oh well. Just my personal thoughts and yap. We will be getting another Kafka, not Kafka skill, a Black Swan skill off here, so we can charge a little bit more wind shear as well. And then also one thing I do want to say, we are getting very close to Dunhung's Preservation form release, which will be very fun for us. Definitely, I do feel like he might be a decent, maybe not necessarily a straight upgrade to dot teams, but I feel like he should be a nice addition to dot teams, because, you know, there's not many more offensive things that we can use. Apologies for that, I've had a bit of a cough recently, but there we go. That is the second boss down. The problem is that basically took us 2 entire cycles, which is not what we want. So we will be clearing 25k here. It's just a question of will we be able to get 30k, which it's very possible that we will not be able to, if I'm being entirely honest. Unfortunately, let's go ahead and use our Kafka ultimate here, see how much damage we deal. I mean, after a Hysilens ult, which we'll be getting now, these things should go down. Let's just see, Kafka follow-up attack, and then skill into ultimate on our Hysilens. Let's see, okay, nice, 1.2 million there, and okay, we do destroy the ones which deal damage to Argenti, which is nice, not the ones which buff his damage, but that shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. You know, we have Aventurine here, look at just how much shield we have. We shouldn't be really facing any issues with dying, if I'm being entirely honest. Also, I will say, the dot team thing feels very quick. This run feels incredibly quick right now. I feel like there's just so much... Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm definitely going to need to take a little break as well as a drink, moving into the second half, because I don't want that entire run to just be me coughing the entire time. I had to do a presentation, and right afterwards, after speaking for like 5 minutes straight, I just kept coughing, which was very awkward for me. So that same thing feels like it's happening here as well. We do hit 27k, so we're in between 25 and 30k, which isn't bad. This is like a decent clear. I'd call this a decent clear. Not a good clear, but a decent clear. We will take it. It is kind of relying on having a dot buff as a pickable blessing, but there's basically always at least one thing which benefits dot when it comes to the buff selection. But anyway, here we are on our second half with our premium Castorice team now. Like Evernight's release has first of all been very fun, just from a Evernight point of view. Can't comment on the story, still haven't finished that, probably won't until 3.7, not gonna lie, with the rate that things are going at right now, but definitely in Castorice teams, she also just feels Castorice feel even better to play, which I didn't think I would ever say, but lo and behold, here we are. Next thing you know, maybe Cyrene will make Castorice feel like the best character to play in the game ever. To be fair, I'd say Castorice is probably already the best character in the game ever right now. Although if Cyrene ends up being a Castorice buff as well, then that would just be absolutely insane. So you know, we are slowly entering into silly power levels. Although to be fair, Finon is also pretty damn busted. Although that's, I feel technically, honestly, people always say about how S1 reliant Castorice is, but personally I find Finon without his S1 to be kinda miserable, because you can run sustainless at E0S0, but it's just so much harder than if you have at least his S1, and then there is just a decent difference between Finon sustainless as well as Finon sustain. So 1, you're missing the signature light cone, and then 2, you're not running sustainless teams. So, and then whereas for Castorice, you just slap on the highest base HP light cone which you own. So you know, I do definitely, there is a difference between S1 Castorice and non-S1 Castorice, but yeah, and then at the same, honestly, I definitely, dare I say, Hyacine S1 might be more valuable than Castorice S1, although, you know, maybe I'm just smoking right now, but anyway, let's go ahead and do a big hit with the star of the show today, that being our little Evernight. Don't know why I call her a little, I'm sure she would not like that. Go ahead and use our Tribbie ult as well, action forward some of our characters, also deal some decent AoE damage. Like I said, Tribbie is just very good into AoE. Go ahead and action forward our summon as well. We can do not the biggest hit, but okay, never mind, we did, that was still a pretty damn big hit, all things considered. Let's go ahead and use our Castorice ult here, deal some nice damage, and then we can go ahead and go into a Hyacine ult as well to get some more charge back, and then after using Castorice's skill, we'll be very close to another Neverwing already. Over 2 million damage there, very nice. Honestly, this Hyacine ult might clear out the enemies right now. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. Yep, knew it. Perfect. Now we have a whole 3 cycles to take out the Sneakador. Yeah, this has somehow already gone better than the DOT team. So never underestimate this team, is one thing I will definitely say. Go ahead and just E on our Hyacine as well. Go ahead and do a... Okay, never mind. This should give us our Neverwing though. Yes, it does. Perfect. So now Neverwing will go before the E0S0, which means we'll generate some more new blood for our Castorice. I'm pretty sure it generates new blood. Nice 2.2 million hit here. Refresh our ult just in case, and then also action forward everyone a bit as well. Maybe get some extra turns in. Does this hit generate new body? Yes, it does. 13%, very nice. And then an extra 4% of that. Oh, okay, and because that will literally let us go again, so we can do another hit and generate some more new blood. We went from 0 to 36, so now if we just go ahead and skill and then skill, okay, we don't quite have a Neverwing yet, but we should get hit by the enemies, and this will be another Neverwing, probably now. Yep, perfect. Go ahead and just spawn that one in, do another probably 2 million damage again, let's be real. Probably kill all the summons on the field, at least I would expect it to. Yep, 2.3 million. Never mind. God, I forget just how tanky they made the summons on the third and final stage. It's actually insane, but you know what? With how strong some of these characters are in Pure Fiction now, I kinda don't blame them. But at the same time, it does make it harder for all the units to keep up, which was... I definitely do think that the Pure Fiction changes, when they first came out, I thought were good. And then after about 2 of them, they made the HP pools in the final stage absolutely insane, and then I stopped enjoying it as much. But oh well, what can we do, I guess. Go ahead and skill on our Hyacine as well. This will give us our Neverwing, basically, for sure. Yep, perfect. Nearly 1 million damage from Eco as well, by the way. Don't want to let that go under the radar. Go ahead and deal some nice damage once again with our Castorice. I'm saying 2.5 million this time. Never mind, 2.1 million. How dare Castorice only hit 2.1 million instead of 2.5? Worst unit in the entire game. To be fair, that is how some people genuinely sound when they talk about HSR meta. Anyway, go ahead and use our Evernight as well. Extra 614k, extra new blood. Lovely, lovely unit. I definitely do wonder how her main DPS teams will go. Although since this is my first clear of Pure Fiction, then, you know, I kind of wanted to steer on the safer side, the one I knew more about, so I just went for a DPS team instead, because I know this would definitely get the job done. But I guess I probably could have gotten away with a Evernight team by herself. We've already hit 60k, which is nice. Let's see if we could maybe hit 70k as well. Would also be very nice. Let's go ahead and just pop this Neverwing right here. Was that 827k from the Tribbie follow-up attack? I think it was. And then on our caster, we will now be seeing 2.2 million damage. 2.7 million damage. Okay, I stand corrected. My apologies, Castorice and Neverwing. I was not familiar with your game. Okay, just kidding. I'm very familiar with your game. I play you guys all the time. But still. Anyway, back to Evernight. And then back to Tribbie as well. And let's see. Okay, we should clear in this cycle, I want to believe. Let's see. If we just skill on our Hyacine here, we should get a Neverwing, and I believe that Neverwing will give us a... do we get a Neverwing? No, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Lovely. Spawn in the Neverwing. Use Ika in Castorice's ult so that it gets the damage, or the res pen, which Castorice creates in her field. I believe that was 1.1 million damage there as well. Let's see. Do we kill this? I think we should. 1%. 1%. We could have cleared in one less cycle. I mean, it's Pure Fiction. Cycles literally do not matter, but it would have been nice if we could have gotten that. But yeah, we just ended with a Tribbie ult instead. Score of 67k, decently respectable. A very, very strong second half, I must say. Evernight definitely pulling her weight. But yeah, with that being said, let's hop into the character builds as well as Atra. Well then, as you can see, both teams definitely managed to carry their weight. When it comes to the first half, the DOT team did fine. You know, they did get over 25k, which is normally my minimum. And then the second half team was just absolutely incredible, kind of what you would expect. I mean, Evernight, Hyacine, and Tribbie are three very strong AoE units. Castorice is just strong in everything, so, you know, no surprises there whatsoever. And of course, as the brand newest character, you would expect Evernight to be good in the current Pure Fiction. We'll see how her scores develop, but I feel like this team is almost so strong that it's impossible to do bad with it. But anyway, when it comes to our character build, starting off with the DOT team, 135 speed, 3.3k attack, because we are on attack boots, 120% effect hit rate, light cones S4 as the price that we can get our EHR requirements, traces fully maxed out. Other than the basic attack, we are also on the dot set, grabbing as much speed and effect hit rate as possible, and then picking up attack percent once we hit those breakpoints of 120 and 134. And then also Eidolon's E0. When it comes to our Black Swan, 140 speed, nearly 3k attack, once again 120% EHR, which is the most important part. Eyes of the Prey, S1, traces fully maxed out, relics once again on the DOT set. Pan Cosmic as well, so that we can get the effect hit rate bonus, so that we can hit that 120%. And then for the Kafka build as well, you've got over 3k attack, 163 speed, as well as 82% EHR as well. S5 tutorial light con, traces basically maxed out, 2p speed, just because I don't have a good eagle piece for her yet, or eagle set rather. And then loose Shaco, so that our Hysilens can get a nice attack buff as well. And then E0, of course. Then when it comes to our premium Castorice team, 7.5k HP, enough speed to get the poet set, 102% crit rate in battle thanks to the poet set, 174 crit damage, which becomes over 300 in battle, thanks to bone set, Hyacine, Evernight as well. Light cones, you do also have Hemicos one, just because this is my highest base HP light cone. Traces maxed out, once again, like I said, poet set, just getting as much crit rate as we can, and then getting as much crit damage after we hit 100%. HP percent as well, Eidolon's E0. Evernight, 7.2k HP, 103 speed, 62.5% crit rate, 174% crit damage as well. Oh, actually, I forgot to switch her to the brand new Remembrance light cone we actually got, so her HP is actually slightly higher here. Yeah, actually we probably could have cleared with that cycle to spare. Now, of course, Pure Fiction doesn't rely on cycles, it's on score, so that actually doesn't matter, but that's one thing I should have noted. So unfortunately, I forgot to switch it to this icon, which we just got. I did want to show it off, but then I just forgot. We got this off standard banner, which was actually really lucky, so yeah, very happy with how that went. Traces maxed out, 2-piece ice, 2-piece HP, because I still do not have a good piece for her signature set yet, unfortunately. And then bone set as well, just all of the leftover pieces we have from all of our characters. And then Eidolon's E0, Hyacine over 5k HP, over 200 speed, and then stacking on as much crit damage as we can. S5 how to store light con, traces maxed out, Warrior Goddess set as well. And then also on the Giant Tree set, just because that is her best in slot, Eidolon's E0. And then finally, when it comes to our Tribbie, 5.5k HP, enough for poet set, 42.5% crit rate, 178 crit damage, becomes over 200 thanks to bone. Light cones, S5 dance, traces maxed out, relics also. And then also bone set as well, basically just our leftover pieces from Castorice and all the other HP scales, and then E0 as well. So yeah, that's it for the character builds. Let me know how this Pure Fiction went for you guys, and see you guys next time.